Senator Lummis, you had I would say, a historic keynote at the Nashville 2024 conference. You talked about the Bitcoin Act. I just want to read a little bit of the notes. It will introduce a strategic Bitcoin reserve in the United States with the plan to acquire up to 5% of the Bitcoin supply, or 1 million Bitcoin, and a holding period of a minimum of 20 years. How would the Bitcoin Act benefit Americans?
Well, Nico, thanks for the question. I did raise it at Bitcoin 2024 in Nashville, and I spoke right after President Trump. And I thought, oh my gosh, this is going to be the most anticlimactic remarks anybody's ever given coming after Trump. But the wonderful thing was that President Trump advocated in his remarks, which preceded mine, for a strategic Bitcoin stockpile. And so it gave complete entree for me to roll out the Bitcoin Act. What it will do, as you just said, is create a strategic Bitcoin reserve of 5% of all Bitcoin over a 5-year period, and then hold it for 20 years, as you just pointed out, not by raising taxes and investing in Bitcoin, but by using existing assets within the Federal Reserve System and Treasury. And then we'll have a hard asset that will grow in value. So 20 years after the full implementation of the 200,000 Bitcoin per year until we have 1 million Bitcoin, will cut our current debt in half. And that's using models that project the growth of Bitcoin. So we can use it during the years that it's growing to underpin and shore up the US dollar as the world's reserve currency. And having the US dollar as the world's reserve currency is extremely important to support through this century. So it gives us favorable trade advantages. It ensures that the US dollar is the most accepted currency worldwide. And then with Bitcoin underpinning it and being also a global means of exchange and store of value, gives us that double support for the US dollar.
Absolutely. So, Senator, you have been in the vanguard of the Strategic Bitcoin Reserve Initiative on the federal level. Dennis, you've been in the vanguard of the Strategic Bitcoin Reserve on the state level. I'm just going to name a couple states off the top of my head. The great state of Ohio, the great state of Pennsylvania, the great state of Florida. I believe some news just came out of there recently. And I know I'm missing a couple. So what is the importance of really moving this initiative forward on the state level?
Yeah, it's a great question. And also what an honor to be with you here today, Senator Lummis. And Nico, thank you for all the incredible stuff that you do on the content side. For me, I certainly am very bullish and very supportive of the legislation at the federal level. But ultimately, at the end of the day, the states would really benefit from having a strategic Bitcoin reserve because the states don't have an unlimited money printer. They don't have unlimited budgets. And so they're dealing with massive budget shortfalls and the inability to protect the purchasing power of the money that they currently have on hand, the money that they currently get through taxation. And that's a huge problem. Since 2018, the dollar has lost 25% of its purchasing power. That's a huge hit to the budgets of states who, again, do not have the ability to print unlimited money. And so by having a strategic Bitcoin reserve, even a very small percent, we're not talking about 50 or even 25% of their budget. We're even talking about single-digit amounts of their budget being in, or their rainy day funds being in Bitcoin. They have the ability to protect themselves from the debasement that is occurring at the federal level and ensure that they can continue to pay for the programs that they currently have without having to raise taxes.
Absolutely. I feel a little bit of competition. Who do you think is going to be first? The federal level, strategic Bitcoin reserve, or state level, Senator Lummis?
Having been my state's treasurer and served in the Wyoming legislature, I think the states are going to be first. States are the innovators of the country. They're the incubators of innovation. And so I think some of these states are going to see the advantages first. Dennis described them well. I was my state's treasurer. I wanted to diversify our sovereign wealth fund. We have a permanent mineral trust fund. So it's like an endowment or a sovereign wealth fund. And when I was state treasurer, I got to diversify our asset allocation out of just bonds into a fully diversified asset allocation of stocks and bonds. This is one of those buy and hold assets. So you can have it continue to grow, as Dennis said, while our own dollar is declining in value. The US dollar is designed to decline in value because the Federal Reserve has a 2% inflation target every year. So by design, it's falling in value. The salary that U.S. senators get, which has been flat, the same, since 2009, is $174,000 a year per senator. Today, that salary that I was paid when I got here in 2009 buys about $122,000 worth of rent, food, and living expense for here in Washington. So the dollar has declined. Bitcoin has grown that whole time. And it has grown, if you look at its history, about 55% each year. And of course it fluctuates, but it's fluctuating upward, where the US dollar is fluctuating less, but fluctuating downward.
Need liquidity without having to sell your Bitcoin? For more than 6 years now, Ledn has been the trusted choice for Bitcoin-backed lending with transparency, security, and trust at their core. I absolutely love these guys, and I personally have not only an account with them, but also a loan. And some of the key features that I love about Ledn is the fact that there are no monthly payments. You pay at the end of the term. You also have the ability to roll over the loan as well, and you can pay it back whenever you want. Essentially what they do is that they help their clients unlock the liquidity of their BTC, allowing you to HODL while still accessing the wealth of your Bitcoin. They've been battle tested with their focus on transparency, security, and trust, allowing them to build a proven track record of client success and security, helping tens of thousands of clients harness the value of their digital assets with confidence and peace of mind. Learn more about what your BTC can do for you. Check out ledn.io today.